I did not think you would speak to me willingly, Jedi, now that our alliance of convenience is no longer necessary.
Will you abandon me then?
If we are to remain allies, Jedi, what is your cause? Right now, the jackals of the Empire snap at each other over the corpse you left them. Perhaps together, we can fill the void on the Emperor's throne.
Your people speaking of the Empire sound like a distorted echo. When I was born, we thought the rest of the galaxy to be mystery and legend. We had been alone for 1,000 years.
What was it like? I can't even imagine.
We were what you made us.
In my youth, Jedi were how you threatened errant children. Obey your masters or the Jedi will obliterate you. For thousands of years, we had total control of 100 star systems. Then the Jedi drove us to the farthest fringe of the galaxy.
The Emperor had subjugated thousands of species. Every non-Force user was enslaved.
They were safe and served to their own capability. This is hardly worth debating. I gain nothing from understanding how your Republic's fools view the galaxy. I am surprised that once your council finishes its brainwashing, any Jedi has a spine left to oppose the Emperor. Perhaps you are young enough to still cultivate the strength of the Sith.
I'm open to Sith tricks. What have you got?
The dark side is no trick, Jedi. When you release the control the Jedi Council has drilled into you, when you feel anger in your every connection to the Force, when you can accept that a man of authority must use any means necessary to achieve his ends, then you will have discovered the dark side. The Emperor is dead at your hand, Jedi. Yet you do not follow up on your victory. Any Sith would have seized the throne by now. Even Revan and the Jedi exile would have been hard-pressed to resist so tempting a target.
I met Revan. He says you turned against him.
I turned to them as my only hope of defeating the Emperor. I was their eyes and ears in the Sith Academy, their most trusted ally. I liked them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
You regret betraying them. There is room in the Force to forgive even such heinous crimes.
I do not seek forgiveness.
Is that what you're planning to do to me?
You have killed the Emperor. You are all that I saw in my vision. The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price. It has been enlightening to spend so much time among you and your Jedi. For 300 years I have spoken to no one but Sith, and they do not change. They are the same on Korriban now as in my childhood. The same tricks, the same fights, the same groveling and mind control.
Was that almost a compliment?
I am only surprised that I have learned the most of the Force from a Jedi. Revan taught me to be effective when I became the Emperor's wrath. And now I have learned as much from you.
You have opened my eyes as well.
And here I thought you weren't listening. The Emperor was the only constant in my 300 years of life. It is hard to grasp his death. When I was born, the Emperor was the Empire. Everything existed to feed his whims. He was so far above us, no one, Sith or slave, would have dared even form an opinion about him.
I'd say joining Revan to kill him counts as an opinion.
When I began serving him, I thought it was far simpler than that.
It is in the nature of the dark side to crave worship.
It is more than the dark side. I thought that when I first served him. The Emperor was just a man, isolated by unimaginable power and the inability to trust the scheming sycophants who served him. I was wrong. He was a plague. And I am the only one in the galaxy who understands the full service you did us by destroying him.
Where does that leave you?
I do not know. The immortality he gave me, it has a terrible price. Taste, smell, touch, color, emotion. I have felt none of these for 300 years.
I do not wish to become as the Emperor. and lose all tie to what once made me a man. I now understand why your council tries to control your pleasure as well as your anger. Pleasure is a far more powerful motivator.
What good is having power if you can't enjoy how it feels?
Power is only one of life's pleasures. I still remember the feel of sunlight on my skin, the scent of favorite foods, the color of my first love's eyes. To experience those simple pleasures again would be worth anything.
See? You haven't lost your humanity after all.
Do not mock me. I understand why your council controls you. What I'll never comprehend is why you let them. You have surprised me, Jedi. You have the heart of a Sith. Had you been born on Korriban, you would be sitting on the Dark Council now. It is too late to turn you fully from the light. But should your children have a connection to the Force, I will see them properly trained.
A Sith Lord of my blood. It's an intriguing thought.
He would have power such as the galaxy has never seen. It would be my greatest honor to train him.